the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable copy products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida gets results. Here's Brandon Strickland from Recommended Collision Center, Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
At Recommended Collision Center, we're all about taking care of our community. And advertising on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has helped us do just that. Social media ads were getting stale, but the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson gave us a fresh way to reach local customers. We've seen more vehicles coming in for estimates, more phone calls, and more people recognizing our name. It's been a great partnership for our business, pairing up with 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
To see how 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida can help grow your business, go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button. Get your message heard and cut through the clutter. Go to ESPNPC.com and click the contact button.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Stand by. On my mark. You survived the workday. Now survive the truth.
Don't you want to have the best 12 teams in college football playing each other?
It's time for the hardest hitting 2 hours on the Panhandle.
I love it. You're coming through. You got it, baby.
Now into the huddle with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz.
It is a joyous day. I love your show.
From the Emerald Coast to the edge of the atmosphere.
You gentlemen lift us up every day.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And it's 5 o'clock, actually 4, unless you're on the Eastern time. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your spot for college basketball right here in the Panhandle. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of this show, all you got to do is call in 850-215-6290, the Red 7Ts phone line. Red 7Ts, your spot for all things custom apparel right here in the Panhandle. You can find them on Facebook and on their website, red7ts.com. We're so glad to have you joined in today on this pretty cold Monday. Definitely terrible weekend. We'll talk about that just as I get through introducing our guest today. We got Brian Haddad in the building. Brian, how you doing today?
No, the cold is Canada's revenge.
Exactly.
It's bad enough we have taken complete control of the Stanley Cup, but now we've taken their gold medals from
That's
them.
right. Exactly. We're definitely going to be talking about that at the top of the hour, 5 o'clock. We're going to be diving into that. And as always, on a Monday, Jeffrey is in the building. How you doing, Jeffrey?
I'm doing good, but it was colder today, but there was more wind yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't like either one of them, so
Yeah.
I wish they'd all stay away.
Yeah.
But I don't like the sideways rain that we got on Saturday either. That was absolutely horrendous. So either way, Bone Crusher, we need you to do a better job at meteorology in this area.
We can't even keep track of the time around here. It feels like 5 o'clock.
It is 5 o'clock on the East Coast. That's right.
Every hour is happy hour.
That's right. This is definitely the place to be for happy hour, for sure.
I get excited when I come in here on Monday because I like to see what we've misspelled on
Yeah.
It's not we, and it's also as AI they use.
Last week we had Kentucky versus Aubers.
Yes.
That was my
That's a good game.
That was a very good game. I think Aubers might have lost that one.
I lost my national championship bet because I bet on Indiana instead of Indiana.
That's right.
I'm waiting to
Indiana
see
did
what
lose.
the misspelling is today.
Yeah, you get straight A's to be in radio.
There you go.
So a nice little local story for everyone. They had a 7-on-7 football this weekend over at Publix Park, and a lot of teams coming in from all over the area, plus outside of the state in Georgia and Alabama and Tennessee, and a lot of young boys over there playing. It's just 7-on-7. I always want to say flag football, but there's no flags. It's basically not even two-hand touch. It's just one-hand touch, just anything that you can touch. And really cool to see these kids out there learning how to play quarterback and wide receiver. But either way, local celebrity was in the building. Jeffrey was there. I got to see Jeffrey, but
I am a celebrity. No, I'm just joking.
He is. Actually, I had somebody ask me, did I know that ESPN was there?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. I saw the guy over there. He's pretty famous.
Was it a coach or was it a player or what?
It was a parent.
It was a parent.
It was a parent said ESPN's here, and I was like, oh yeah, I saw him. Yeah, he's pretty fantastic. But the other celebrity that was here was what some people, in their minds call greatest of all time. Peyton Manning was in the building over at Publix, and his son Marshall was playing in the tournament and
quarterbacking
with
the 16 number.
Yeah, number 16, and they had the orange pants on with the white and orange tops, and just looking just like Tennessee, and finding out later that he goes to Baylor High School in Chattanooga.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so, they moved him there to that prep school. And looking back from this past year's football team, I think they had 6 Division I players, 5 or 6 Division I players coming out of that high school, and 2 of them signed with Tennessee, 1 signed with Middle Tennessee State, and then the other 2 or 3 signed with Louisville. So
they're one of my client teams with swim. It is an absolutely beautiful place, and it should be for what it costs. But it is like a college campus. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, really, and that's what I was wondering. So I'm glad you know about it. So is it kind of an IMG, if you would?
No,
for Tennessee?
I mean it's a boarding school. So McCallie is very similar. Now McCallie is an all boys school. It's in the Chattanooga area. GPS Girls Preparatory School is the all girls school, the kind of sister of McCallie, and then Baylor is both.
Both, okay.
And they're very exclusive, very good athletically, very good academically. Beautiful up in the mountains. I mean, it's a nice
place. Yeah. So got to talk with him a little bit. Nothing outside of the ordinary. Did not get a chance to ask him to come on the show. Had we talked a little bit more, but I didn't want to invade his privacy. He was there to play football or coach football, so it just wanted the same. Yeah, I almost did. I almost turned around and just threw it right at him.
Just throw a flag and say, hey, come here. I need to talk to you.
Yeah, so stop the game, stop the clock.
Yeah, exactly.
Those games are really fast-paced. It's unbelievable. They're 25 seconds running clock, no timeouts. So you have to get on, get off. There's 2 opportunities to make a first down, and you're playing on a 50-yard field with 10 yards being the end zone. So realistically, only 40 yards. The offensive team, and I know maybe some people are like, this is not interesting, but I think it's pretty interesting. The offensive team, outside of unsportsmanlike conduct, their penalty is only loss of down. Now, the defense, if you hold or if you have pass interference or something like that, yours can be 5, 10, or 15 yard. Okay. But either way, it's last year's tournament had Cam Newton and Jerome Bettis there. This year had Peyton Manning. So just celebrities bringing their children, playing just like normal, people. And it was kind of cool to see. I know a lot of people were there hoping to talk to Peyton and take pictures. And I saw a couple of people that did get opportunity to take them. But he was just there about business. And I will be honest with you, being there, and the reason why I know so much about this is because I was reffing some of the games, and I did ref some of his games. And so me and him did talk back and forth about inside game stuff. But the other part of it was, is that, just as intense about his games that he was in the NFL was the way that Peyton was responding to me on the field, asking me what down it was. I mean, so he was definitely not there
he had no scoreboard to keep track of everything.
Right. So, he would ask me what I had to keep the score. My other referee, because I was the white hat, the other referee kept the time. And, that kind of thing. So,
did he call you out on some plays? Did he say maybe you made a bad call or anything like that?
No.
Was he trying to egg you on? Was he trying to?
No, he wasn't.
Slip you a 20 or anything?
No, he did not. He didn't slip me anything. He didn't say anything. I didn't hear Omaha, not one time.
That's what I was going to ask. Is that Marshall's audible?
No. I was trying to think before I came on what he did say because it was a little bit different. Maybe I think he said red 70s set hut. but
recommended.
Yeah, recommended set hut. So there you go.
Oh my goodness.
So but yeah, it was definitely a really cool thing to get to experience. And like I said, a lot of people were starstruck, and which they should be. He's one of the greatest of all time. But he was there for serious business. He was there for his son. And the son looked really good. He made some good throws. I think he threw maybe one pick all day or in the 2 days that I saw that I had him. So, another Manning coming through. So, I mean, we got Arch going right now.
So he's in 9th grade.
No, he's in 8th grade.
Oh, 8th grade. Okay.
Yep. So he's in 8th grade.
Is it possible to be a good ref, not to give him the benefit of the doubt? Do you have to really try not to do that?
No. I'm just going to call it the way I see it, and I just stick to the way that it is. If Peyton Manning likes me, I don't see the benefit for me, and if Peyton Manning doesn't like me, I don't see the benefit as well.
So he takes a snap off the table.
Yep.
And then was there always somebody right there by the table, like to be a snapper?
So the way the rule is that you can't have a shotgun snap until you gain the first yard.
Oh, okay.
So your first series is on the 40-yard line, you have to take it off the table. Mm-hmm. And then if you make a yard from then on out, you can have someone snap. But they're dead. All they do is snap the ball. They can't go anywhere because it's 7-on-7. So.
And so basically you have the quarterback and then you have 6 wide receivers?
No. Yes. That's right.
And then so there is no running past the scrimmage line. It's just passing.
Yeah, it's passing. You can run if you want to, but there's really, there was a few times that it was pretty effective just because they would spread them out and then just have a running back come in motion and give almost like a jet sweep. So they could do that kind of stuff, but it was pretty interesting.
So there's no blitz, and then so he doesn't feel the pressure.
Yes, you can blitz, but you can only blitz one time in the whole game. So the 25 minutes you get one blitz.
That's kind of a weird thing going on.
So, yeah, you get one blitz, and you'll see it used later on. But I will tell you this, talking about all of the tournament, though, which was kind of crazy, is when you got to the 18-year-olds. Now, you want to talk about, I had the championships and all that. You talking about really, you had to be very careful. A lot of, there was some kids that really knew how to play the cornerback position. You could just tell the way they moved their feet, their body. They knew how to turn their hips. They knew where they, to give leverage or not or whatever. Then you would see they would be in man, and then they would disguise it and be in zone. And it was pretty cool to see that there's a reason for the madness. And there was some intensity out there. I'll tell you, I remember one call where a kid made a play, and he was a little bit smaller than the guy that was guarding him. The guy that was guarding him was a big dude, and but he could move. And the kid caught the ball, got the first down, and began to tell him a little bit about it. Tell him a little bit. He said, "Let's put on the pads, little fella." That's what he told him. So it was good. I didn't throw. I only threw one kid out of the game. For taunting. He would not get out of the other kid's face. But other than that, we didn't.
Hot.
Yeah, we didn't. So let me just say this. I know we spent almost a whole segment on this, but it's really cool. So the organization starting on Sunday morning, which is bracket play. So that means if you lose, you're gone. So this is where it gets intense. So they come out with a new rule to start the day, which was that every single player and coach has already had their warning for unsportsmanlike conduct. So if you get an unsportsmanlike conduct, you're immediately ejected, and you're immediately ejected from the tournament. So you can no longer play.
Yeah.
So they wanted to really make sure that people were not going to fight, because that was a big deal. They've had several, which everybody's seen it on YouTube and all of that, where they would fight at these little kids' games, and they were doing everything they could, and they did a great job. And we shared that at the beginning when we coaches meeting. When we were doing the coin flip, or whoever was going to get the ball first, it was like, hey guys, everybody's got an unsportsmanlike conduct already on you. And their look of their face was like, what do you mean?
I didn't do nothing.
So it was like, well, can we wait just a second so I can go over there and tell my team? Because I've got a few that probably are going to say something. And obviously, if you shoot guns in the air and all that kind of stuff, they said no, I mean, they're doing that. So, but a little bit.
Is that like Yosemite Sam? Right?
Yeah, anything. I mean, Wyatt Earp, Yosemite Sam, whoever, if you're throwing the hand, or what's the golf Tombstone? Val Kilmer played him.
Oh, yeah, Doc Holliday.
Doc Holliday. So, but, it is what it is.
Well, Peyton was at the airport, and I asked him if he'd call in, and he's going to go ahead and do that today.
All right, good.
No, I'm joking. That would be great.
At 5 o'clock.
At 5 o'clock.
Yeah, he told me.
Happy hour. Yeah. Extra happy.
Yeah. And just for the people that are listening on the East Coast, that'd be 6 o'clock your time. But yeah, overall, a great time. Seeing him out there was kind of extra for some of the kids, because a lot of the kids, and which you were there and you saw some of it, and just seeing the excitement of kids' faces when they see somebody famous like that.
Goodness, those kids were wired for him, man.
Yeah. And
one kid yelled out, "I love you."
Yeah.
I don't know if he heard it or not.
Yeah. But they do, and they do. I mean,
they do.
Do you remember the first time you ever saw a celebrity? I mean, were you starstruck? I mean, Bone Crusher. I'm sure you saw some, celebrities in your time of doing radio and all that when they would do stuff for the radio.
So the irony for me is the second time. That was the second time. The second time I ever saw a celebrity was actually Archie Manning, and he was in my restaurant in Metairie, Louisiana. And I talked to him, and the guy was super nice, and he was great, and Peyton Manning was still in college at the time. Mm-hmm. But the first time I ever saw a celebrity, if you want to call him a celebrity, maybe not to you, but I know Brian will know all about it.
Is it because I'm younger or what?
Well, I'll drop the name. You probably know who it is, though, but you might not consider him to be a celebrity.
Okay.
Tom Dempsey.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know who he is. Yeah.
Kicker, right?
Kicker. And he had the club foot. And I was playing, I was 11 and 12s football. And we had to go travel to do a scrimmage against this team. And they said, Tom Dempsey's the coach.
Oh, wow.
And so, of course, my whole team, when we got there and all that, we had to look down at the club foot to make sure it was him.
Yeah.
And it was.
Wow.
And we were like, oh, my God, it's Tom Dempsey, record holder for field goals. And, the longest field goal in NFL history, which stood for 30-something years.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time, and so I guess that was technically my first celebrity I ever saw.
Brian, you got a celebrity that you saw? I mean, I know you've been in the swimming industry for a long time. Maybe somebody that you saw.
Well, I mean, that's hard to even consider celebrity at this point, because you're kind of in the arena with them. I always thought it was cool when you'd see an Alabama football player.
Yeah, that was always great.
I remember when I got to meet Derek Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was real cool. Ride an elevator with Gene Stallings. Stuff like that. But, we would meet, because the Senior Bowl was in Mobile. Yeah. Our church would always do a thing during the week, and we'd have a lot of the players come through. And so you get to meet a lot of guys that way. It's not what I can think of.
Who's the most famous person you've ever been in, seen? Maybe you didn't meet him, but maybe you saw him.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it was actually in the Beau Rivage in Biloxi. It was a Roy Jones fight. Ditka was there, Jordan was there, Demi Moore was there. They were all. And Ditka was trying to get Mike to come over to his private dice table that we were all watching. And Mike's like, I don't want no part of you. But that was that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Watching him walk through. I mean, he wasn't that far from us, but yeah, that's got to be the most famous person I've been probably that close
in
to.
the vicinity. Yeah. Bone Crusher, do you have anybody? I mean,
well, just earlier today, I bumped into news anchor, what's her name, Jessica Foster over at WJHG. You know what she said to me? She said, "Hey, moron, that's my parking spot."
Well, that's okay. I mean, sometimes, you needed it at the Dollar General faster than she did, right? But for me, I mean, this was kind of crazy because it's kind of the same thing. I remember my dad not even making me go to school, because back in the day when they hosted the Senior Bowl at Ladd Stadium, I would go to the practices. They'd let you on the sidelines. There were no tickets, no nothing, and Bo Jackson was there. And I mean, right after it was over, they would all sign your autographs for you. And I just remember them running plays. And actually, Bo Jackson ran. They'd done a little toss sweep or whatever, and Bo Jackson ran out of the out of bounds. And my dad was there. My dad's a big guy, 6'4", 6'5", 250, and him and Bo. Dad kind of caught Bo or whatever just to kind of break his, slow him down or whatever. And so, I met Bo Jackson after he won the Heisman.
Yeah, I was thinking sports. Most famous person I ever got to meet was the first President Bush.
Oh, okay.
That was, I was just thinking about it, actually. But it was when he was vice president, actually.
Oh, okay.
That was really cool, actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's, for me, I was just like, man, to meet Bo Jackson after he'd won the Heisman and being in Senior Bowl was just, even fantastic.
Alabama fans love Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
We didn't love him for about 4 years, but it was a big deal when Bo Jackson played in the Senior Bowl. That was
deal. Because and which I told you, Jeffrey, about Dalton Hilliard was there the same. He was on the same Senior Bowl team as Bo Jackson. So at the time, that was. The biggest calves I'd ever seen on a human being was Dalton Hilliard, how big his calves were as far as like muscle. Obviously there was offensive linemen that were there that were big, but I'll never forget that as a kid. And my dad, and I hope my kids aren't listening, my dad let me miss school to go to the Senior Bowl practice. So, I mean, good. That's good parenting right there. That's American parenting.
When I graduated UMS, we actually were one of the practice sites. And
I remember
we
that.
had the last period off. We were seniors, and that was the year Alabama won the national championship. So we were up in the stands, and I remember looking to my right, and Jerry Glanville was sitting right next to me there with that hat and his jacket and all like that. And it's like literally sitting right next to me. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Well, we're going to have to take our next break. We got Hurricane Bobby on the line. He will be the first call we get back when we come back in. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, anyplace, anywhere.
The Sports Talk and live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite Sports Talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the Sports Talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Monday. The remainder of the day, sunshine and 52 with a blustery wind coming out of the north-northwest around 16 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 34. Tomorrow, sunny with a light breeze and a temperature near 55. Moving into Wednesday, warming up with a high of 70 and partly cloudy. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you living with chronic pain, anxiety, or sleepless nights? You don't have to just get by. You deserve to thrive. At Thrive Alternative Medicine on Panama City Beach Parkway, Dr. Laughlin and counselor Suzanne Clark provide a compassionate path to relief. From medical marijuana card certifications to professional mental health counseling, managing conditions like PTSD, chronic pain, and the complexities of cancer. Book online at thrivealternativemedicine.com. Thrivealternativemedicine.com. Find the relief relief you deserve.
Are you ready for another historic season at the bank? It's time to lock in your seats for 2026 by placing your deposit now. Next season will be played at Everbank Stadium, but seating capacity is limited due to in-bowl renovations, and spots are going fast. Don't miss out on your chance to see the season's biggest matchups and highlight real moments by placing your deposit at Jaguars.com/tickets or by calling 904-633-2000. Go Jags!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has your chance to win. Subs, chips, and drinks for 4 at Jersey Mike's on 23rd Street. Just open the ESPN Northwest Florida app and crush the contest button.
Winning.
The ESPN Northwest Florida app is available for Android and Apple.
Some people say our opinions are toxic. We say they're just a little terminal. The Sports Blitz.
This malpractice committee has received a few complaints against you.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your place for college basketball, specifically them Gators. So either way, if you want to be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290. We are going to have Steve Barnes on right after Hurricane Bobby's call. We're going to go ahead and go to that one. Hurricane Bobby, are you there, my friend?
What's going on, brother?
We appreciate your patience, my buddy. So I wanted to say this. I don't know if you heard this, Bobby. Have you
ever called you since the game?
I know.
Share my patience with you.
That's fine. Let me ask you this: Have you ever met anybody famous, Bobby?
I have. I met Mickey Mantle.
Oh, really?
What?
Wow.
That's cool.
Wow.
When the Panama City Mall first opened here in Panama City, I was like 13 years old. Remember, I don't know if anybody, y'all been here this long, but the Panama City Mall property was a swamp. There was nothing out there, and they built the mall.
Wow.
But Gayfers was the department store that opened. And, I mean, he'll probably remember this. Mickey Mantle did a Lee Jeans tour.
Oh, wow.
He toured around with Lee Jeans, and they gave away buttons. And I swear to God, I wish I had this button. It was like a 3.5-inch wide button. Had Lee Jeans on it, and it had Mickey Mantle's picture on it, and they gave them out. And if I still had that Lee Jeans button, it'd probably be worth, I don't know how much money.
Well, if Brian would buy it from you, I'm sure.
There you go.
Yeah. Does Brian remember that?
No, that was before I was here, but growing up in Mobile, Paul and I are both, like, aware of Gayfers.
Yes, Gayfers was in Mobile, for sure.
Too.
Well, the Lee Jeans tour that Mickey Mantle did, but I waited in line for like 14 hours. He signed my 1966 Topps card.
Wow.
I still have it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to get rid of it ever.
Well,
Anyways,
I'm here if you do. I'm here if you do.
You want it?
Maybe.
Okay. Yes, sir. But I wish I had that button, though, because I guarantee them buttons probably are not around a lot. But, yeah, Mickey Mantle, man, was cool. Yeah, it was cool. Right here in Panama City.
Yeah, that's an amazing story.
Yeah. I want to know what y'all think about this Mike Tyson Mayweather fight.
Oh, man, we talked about it a little bit. That's Jeffrey's hero. Mike Tyson is. So every time we talk about greatest of all time, if we're talking about college, if we're talking about pro, Jeffrey always brings up Mike Tyson. And so I wondered if he thought that Mike Tyson was going to be able to, they've said that Mayweather is going to unretire after this fight. Do you think Tyson's going to throw him into retirement, Jeffrey?
I don't know, maybe punch him into retirement.
No. They keep reiterating that's an exhibition. It's an exhibition. Mm-hmm. So were they going to go out there and they're going to punch each other in the gut a couple times and pat each other in the butt? Good job, buddy.
Yeah, probably.
See, the only reason I would want to watch that is the same reason I wanted to watch Tyson Jake Paul, because I want to see Mike Tyson annihilate him. And it's not going to happen. And I've never liked Floyd Mayweather. He's a great fighter.
Yeah.
But I've never liked him. So what I would watch to see is Tyson snap and knock his head off. And it's just not going to happen. So
Does Roy Jones Jr. got a shop in Pensacola like Emmett Jones or Emmett Smith does?
I don't know. I'm not sure what he's. I want to say he did at one point. I don't know if he still does, but.
I know Emmett Smith supposed to had a card shop where he had, he kept every touchdown they ever scored. He kept the football.
No, I mean, it wasn't so much a card shop with that, but, I mean, he's done other things, memorabilia things, and stuff like that, yeah.
I don't know if that was ever true. I never really went over there.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway, I'll let y'all get on with y'all's show.
All right, man.
I just wanted to... All right, love y'all.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much for the call.
Peace.
We appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and go to the Red 17's phone line. We got Steve Barnes on the line. Steve, how you doing today?
Hey, man, what's up, deal? Just trying to get ready for the Sun Belt basketball tournament over in Pensacola next week, men's and women's.
Yeah, it's about to be.
Who's doing what. And the cool thing is I'll get to hang out with Keith Gill, who is the commissioner of the Sun Belt, and he's in charge of March Madness this year. So I'll get to ask him a few cool questions. And the really cool thing is you get to run into people you've known for years, a lot of these ADs. But there's one I've never met before. And it's going to be kind of surreal. I'm sure we all saw The Blind Side, the movie.
Yep.
Remember, there were three kids in the family,
right.
Michael Orr, then the older daughter, then the young little spunky kid. That's S.J. Toohey. He is now the athletic director at the University of Louisiana Monroe.
That's right.
Yep.
You want to count the new gray hairs on your head now?
We're trying to hold them tight as long as we can.
I love that old Civic Center. Steve, did I hear right that they shut down that hotel that was right next to it?
Yep, it's down.
Golly.
It's not working. And the Civic Center, they just renamed it the Bay Center for some reason. They just unveiled like a $60 million, quote, improvement to it, where it's going to add more buildings, like a permanent ice rink. Like, we really need that. Come on. But it's going to take out all the parking.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, you know where the Civic Center is located.
Oh, God,
it's like the arm of the off-ramp for I-110.
Yeah.
So you can't expand that way for parking. And, I mean, now it's hard to park anyway downtown. So I don't know what to do.
Ticket prices to the conference tournament is very affordable.
Yeah, for sure, especially Sunbelt. Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool.
All-day packages.
You're going to see some good basketball, too.
That's right.
On the women's side, there are already 5 teams with 20 wins.
Wow.
The men's side, South Alabama's got 20. App State's got 19, but they play one more this week against Texas State, and they're pretty good. But they will win 20. Marshall, Troy, Texas State, and Arkansas State all have 18 with 2 games to go. So you have a bunch of 20-win teams there. That's something else I want to ask the commissioners. Like, do you have to recuse yourself when they start talking about a Sun Belt team?
I don't know. That's
but the other thing I want to ask them about is, what do you think about these court cases? I just want to see what you always hear from the player, and you always hear from the NCAA. You don't hear from the athletic administration. I want to know what they thought.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I wanted to ask you, okay, so we had the Trinidad Chambliss deal where it went through, everything's good. Trinidad's back with Ole Miss, never left, but he's okay, cleared to play. But however, on Friday we had Joey Aguilar denied. Obviously, 2 separate instances and 2 separate outcomes. How did you feel about Joey Aguilar? Because realistically, it almost felt like Tennessee was kind of banking on him because McIntyre is the other guy, and he's still unproven. He's never started before, so that's what I'm curious to see what you thought about that one.
Well, I think they've got a pretty good quarterback room without him. You got McIntyre, you got the Faison kid, and you got Ryan Staub just transferred in from Colorado. So, I mean, I think they're okay. And if Aguilar had gotten his waiver, or if Levitt had signed with Tennessee, like he was in Knoxville, if he'd signed with them instead of LSU, McIntyre or Faison, probably one of them's leaving.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, that's it. So... I told you I live in a household of Tennessee fans, and they showed me some of the fan blogs in Knoxville. Nobody's upset that he lost his case.
Yep.
And the weird thing is, to me, there were 3 big cases. First was Aguiar, and I thought that was a toss-up. Then Chambliss, I thought that was a slam dunk because he had the medical documentation, and he had Ferris State saying, yeah, we told him he had it. But the one that I was sure was going to lose was Bediako at Alabama with basketball. And he has appealed his ruling. He's going to the Alabama Supreme Court.
He's going to go, we were going to talk about that. And the thing is that Alabama, they've kind of stayed neutral in it. They say we support him as a student athlete, as someone that we care about, but they have not tipped their hand to be involved in any of it. So Alabama's kind of like good, and I know it's just a personal thing, but I'm just saying the from what I've read and the people that I've talked to, Alabama's just like, sure, we'll support you if they say yes, come on back, because he is still working with the team as a scout team center. So he is definitely practicing every single day with Alabama.
Well, whatever the outcome of the Supreme Court in Alabama, you're going to have one or two things that are really going to pop up here. If he is approved and he can play after going pro, I worked in the Southern League for 2 years in minor league baseball. You know how many guys are playing minor league baseball who never went to college?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Let's say you're 23 years old. You've been in AA for 2.5 years. You know you're not going up. Well, why not say, well, I want to go back to college and play?
Yep.
You've got all your eligibility. But the thing is, if Bediako loses this, he played, I think, 5 games or 4 games. And I think they went 2-2. If he's deemed ineligible, can the NCAA go back and tell Alabama you have to vacate those 2 wins?
The tricky part was in the ruling, the initial ruling from the judge. There was a stipulation in his ruling that the NCAA could not seek redress on that based on him playing. Now, everything is disputable. Everything can be taken to another level, but I know that was specifically stated in the initial judge's ruling. So I would imagine most parties would just want this behind them if it gets to that point, and I doubt they would pursue. What you'll hear Tom Izzo talk about it, or a couple other coaches. Bruce Pearl will bring it up again too, but outside of that, I think it'll slowly die away.
Well, the NCAA is known to hold a grudge.
Sure.
So they might not be able to jab Alabama on this one, but down the road, they can do it. In fact, I talked to a guy in Oxford the other day who made a great point. Is Chambliss, he's got a temporary injunction, so that case is still going on.
That's right.
And they're just going to keep kicking the can down the road, and hopefully it's not going to go to court until afterwards. The guy I talked to said, we're kind of worried that the NCAA could come back and say, well, he played all year, you have to go ahead and vacate all those wins.
See,
from 26. But then the guy said, but we think we have the solution. Once we play our last game, we're going to drop the lawsuit.
The bigger question...
They can't go to court again.
The bigger question to me, and this is just dealing with the humanity of people doing this stuff, the NCAA was clearly slapped in the face and not happy about the chamber. And it's their own fault because they walked right into it. But you could tell they took that one pretty tough. Now, with whatever's going to go on with Coach, as it relates to tampering or whatever like that, what I'm wondering is there going to be a little extra oomph by the NCAA? And I know that opens them up again, but we're talking about people here, and people hold grudges, and that would be more my worry.
Yeah.
And the other thing is the Aguiar and the Chambliss thing. People are saying it's the same thing.
Not at all.
That's not even apples to oranges. No. That's apples to a concrete block.
Yeah, it's totally different.
What, like I said, what Chambliss said is like, I was told I had a medical red cert. Sure, here's all the documentation. What Aguiar is saying is, hey, I want to play one more year.
Right.
I just want to play. Because he was at the City College of San Francisco, where O.J. Simpson went, by the way. He was there in 2019, redshirt. In 2020, got wiped out because of COVID. Then he went to Diablo Valley in 21 and 22. Then App State in 23 and 24. Then Tennessee in 25. Okay, that's 5 years, dude.
Yeah.
All right. You can't just say, I just want them. I'm suing because I just want them. No, you can't do that. And I think he saw the writing on the wall, too, because he already said I'm going to the combine this week. And think about it. If he would have won, or he lost, he goes to the combine, then it gets overturned on appeal and he decides to come back to Tennessee, he's going to be the answer of a trivia question forever. Who's the only guy who's gone to the combine twice before he got drafted?
That's true. Yeah, because that's exactly what he, and I was listening to him talk, and he was already, off his plans were there to go. Let me say this about Biacco. When you look at him, do you think that there's a possibility that the NCAA tournament, Alabama's going to get a really bad draw? Could that be the way they pay him back?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They hold a grudge. If we can't get you in court. Okay, we're going to get you this way.
We're going to give you Arizona and Duke, whoever,
and send you to Walla Walla, Washington to play. So it's not like you're going to go to Atlanta and play some run of the mill Sun Belt team.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna make it hard for you, and we're gonna make you travel or make you suffer. And the NCAA, they handle all your accommodations and travel. Can you imagine the motel they might put them in?
Oh man, that would be
the airliner in right there. Yep.
Tom Bodette might leave the lights on, but I'm not sure I want to stay in that Motel 6 in the middle of nowhere.
Well, Steve, what seed would you hate to be in? Like the 6th seed is the worst?
For some reason, the 5's really weird. Seems like the 12 always beats a 5.
12's always like a good, mid-major kind of team.
Always going to be good.
In the first round.
But Steve's right. Where they send them is the way you can hit them.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Las Vegas against Arizona. I mean, in the second round, that'd be stupid crazy.
Well, Alabama, they travel well at football, but not so much in basketball unless it's kind of close.
That's correct.
And if you send them out west, nobody's going. It's like the Sun Belt. People have complained that, it's in Pensacola. Sun Belt doesn't even have a Florida team anymore. Then they get to Pensacola and see where it is. It's like, oh, we're in Alabama. I don't care.
That's right.
But, that's South Alabama.
Yeah,
that's funny.
But, South Alabama, they travel from Mobile over here. That's just a 45-minute drive.
Yep,
Southern
easy.
Miss will travel. Troy will travel.
Yep.
A little bit from Georgia State. But what surprised me in the last few years, the team that travels best, James Madison. Harrisonburg, Virginia.
How about that?
Well, that's I don't want to say it's a big school, but it's bigger than what people realize.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, what it is that's it for that town.
Oh, yeah. They put a Buc-ee's at the next exit. No, I'm not kidding. Right south of there on, what is that, 81, they put a Buc-ee's, and it's like huge.
Well, Steve, we're going to have to go ahead and take our break. We appreciate you coming on, my friend, and I want you to have a great time over there with all of that. And you know what? Me and Brian's pulling for them Jaguars.
Look at them Jaguars.
I tell you, they're the only men's side team that has 20 wins already, and they got 2 more games to go. It's Louisiana Monroe and Southern Miss. They could be 22-9 going into the tournament.
There we go.
That'd be good. All right, my friend. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks,
we
Steve.
appreciate it, Steve.
All right, bye.
When we come back, we're going to talk to Big Nate. He's going to hold the line for us. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text in now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
After a last-second win over Kentucky, the Auburn Tigers traveled to Norman to face the Oklahoma Sooners in a critical SEC showdown. This game carries significant postseason implications as the Tigers are fighting to stay on the NCAA tournament bubble. Tip-off tomorrow at 8 on your home for college basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Looking to upgrade your truck? It's Blue Diamond Truck Accessories in Panama City. They sell, service, and install it all. Light kits, bed covers, bumpers, winches, lift kits, and any trailer hitch you can imagine. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, just west of Frankfurt Avenue on 15th Street. Find Blue Diamond Truck Accessories on Facebook or call 850-914-0265. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, 850-914-0265.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has your chance to win. Subs, chips, and drinks for 4 at Jersey Mike's on 23rd Street. Just open the ESPN Northwest Florida app and crush the contest button.
Winning.
The ESPN Northwest Florida app is available for Android and Apple.
Hi, this is Wendell Carter Jr. of the Orlando Magic. For big reactions on the Gulf Coast, it's the Sports Blitz with my boy, Paul Wilson, on 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Thank you very much.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida, your spot for all things college basketball. We also run the Orlando Magic basketball. As you heard just earlier, my boy, Wendell Carter, plays for them Orlando Magic. Got a win the other night, and I'm pretty happy about it.
That was a close one last night.
Close one, yeah. Don't forget, you can call in and text in on the Red 70s phone line, 850-215-6290. We're pumped up here, talking a lot about the NCAA and just what they're going to do, and I believe it with all of my heart. I do. Just thinking about it, just thinking about how they're suing them, how they're doing all this different stuff, I really believe that they're going to punish Alabama's basketball team this year. I do.
Oh, it's y'all against the world? I've heard this before. I've heard Ohio State, Michigan say this and all that.
I'm not saying.
It sort of sounds like it.
I'm not saying it's me against the world, baby, but I'm saying it's definitely.
Man. They have it out.
They're
going
to get it. They're going to get it. Well, because the way it all went down, I'm telling you, now they're trying to go to the Alabama Supreme Court with all this mess. I don't love it. I don't love it.
Diego Pavia, he did not go to court, right?
He had court. It was in court, but it never went to trial.
I think he pulled out.
I think he let it go.
But I thought he got approved.
He got approved the year before, for this past year.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It never went to court. There was a court proceeding, but I think they just allowed it. I think they looked at it and said, you know what, yes, you got it. Let's go. Let's move on. But see, with the Trinidad thing, I think Ole Miss is going to be up there. But either way, we're going to go ahead and go to the Red 70s phone line. We got Big Nate on the line. Nate, thanks for being patient, my friend. How you doing today?
You know what? Just living life in the Southport the best I can.
That's what I'm talking about. We love it.
So, you guys been talking about this NCAA. I've had beef with the NCAA for a long time. And I think that their britches are just too big. And I think they need to be knocked down a couple of dozen pegs, honestly. The old guard that they have running the show there needs to sober up and get with the times. Times have changed. They're not going to ever go back. Just like when you raise the grocery price of a grocery item in the store, does it ever go back down? No. Maybe Walmart has a special rollback price, but it never goes down 100% from what it was from one year from the past year. I'm telling you right now.
I'm going to have to interrupt you for just a second. Did you say Walmart rollback prices? Well, you're dating yourself now, Nate. You're dating yourself.
Well, okay, you know what? I grew up in Kmart, so don't even get me started.
Same.
Blue Light Special on
That's
aisle
right.
25 in the men's department.
You better run if you're going to get them because there's only 10 left.
Well, I mean, eggs, milk, and gas are the only three that really kind of fluctuate, and they will come back down.
Right. Well, I worked in the grocery industry. I was a butcher for over a decade with Safeway. And once the price goes up, it never comes back down.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it won't.
Well, what side of the NCAA, what would you say would be something that would just be changed?
I don't think they should be in power anymore. I don't think they should be able to dictate what the
He's an
colleges
anarchist.
do. I think that the colleges and the universities should find a different way to market themselves other than the NCAA. They should go independent. You guys talked about it the other week.
Yeah.
Just last week, in fact. By taking these larger schools, these larger brands, and going to set up your own independent conference, or, they don't need the NCAA's approval to play games. They could set up their own schedule. They could do their own thing. In fact, in the middle of the basketball year, I think you should have a buy-in tournament where these big teams with good records can put their money where their mouth is and get a winner-takes-all tournament right in the middle of the season.
Yeah, no, that's a big deal. The only thing I would say with that is that you would need solidarity and somehow, some way to get the school administrators, athletic directors, presidents, all of those guys on board together. And like you said, if you could get your blue bloods, whether it's in football, basketball, baseball, whatever, to do something like that, I think it could cause the NCAA to kind of come to the table and be able to change up what they've got. Because you're right, with them having the market, they kind of hold the strings, so to speak. But these court proceedings are really kicking their butt because they lost heavily in that Trinidad Chambliss. That was something that was big. And if they do in return, like what we're talking about, if they really give Ole Miss a slap on the wrist, and because of what Pete Golden has done, now I think something should happen with that. I think if they find out that he did do all the stuff they're saying, I think something should happen. But I would ear to the side of he's going to get more than what probably he deserves.
Well, I mean, look what happened with John Harbaugh. He left college to go back to the NFL. So his team wouldn't get sanctioned or fined, and then they hire this other guy, and he ends up. I don't even want to talk about that idiot.
Yeah.
But I mean, Michigan went from the top, and now look at them. What have they got going on?
Right.
The irony with the NCAA stuff is honestly in the last, let's say, 10 cases they've had, I've actually been on their side and appreciated their argument in all of them except the Chambliss one. The Chambliss one was petty on their part because they got caught out. And they knew it.
They knew it.
And it was a personal thing with them. They got caught out on something that they had been previously doing, and it was just a petty fight at that point. Everything else that they've put their back up on with Aguiar, with Pavia, with Bediako, I've actually been on their side in it. Now, that's not to say I have had no problems with the NCAA, because a lot of why we're here is because they weren't, awake at the wheel. But I will say lately, they've been on the right side of most of these. The problem is we've crossed the Rubicon. I mean, now that it's semi-professional, everything has to change.
Right. And I don't think that the model of their mission statement and the current iteration of that.
Yep.
Right. No, you're right. A big deal.
It's square peg, round hole. It just doesn't fit anymore. Yep.
And unless you can, as a fan, let go of those old grassroots type ties, trust me, when they were talking about paying players, I was against it. But I can't do anything about it now because they're doing it.
Yeah, right.
So I either get on board and help them figure out a better way to manage that, to make it fair, to make it equitable for everyone, or I just stop buying product.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's the big thing, like, the NFL and the NBA and the WNBA and other organizations, they felt the wrath of people pulling out of watching and not buying tickets. They have had that in different markets. So the NCAA, it wouldn't be surprising if something like that happened, but you'd have to attack the bigger markets, which is always the markets that whatever the school is and whatever division that they're in, whether it be the SEC or the Big Ten, because realistically the other markets aren't really selling. But whatever their deal is, like with Alabama, you'd need to attack their football. Michigan would be football and basketball. Ohio State would obviously be football. But
I really don't hope they don't get caught in that double jeopardy. I mean, I really don't think that they should be penalized for standing up for a student who wants to make a difference.
Right. No, I agree with you.
You use that word student very loosely.
Well, okay, but semi-professional athlete that happens to be going to school part-time.
You have to have a sour taste in your mouth, Nate, because I know you're up from Washington State, and if any schools have really gotten victimized by conference realignment, after Memphis, it's probably Wazoo and Oregon State, correct?
Oh, God, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
The state schools should be basically, I honestly think, because the state schools, they're getting government funding from that state or even the feds. But I really think that all the state schools should be in one division and all the private universities should be in a different one, and the top two go and play against each other.
Oh, no. I don't believe in that any which way. I don't think you realize how little amount of private schools we really have that excel at sports.
Well, I mean, okay, I'm not saying that the University of Washington is not a public school. You can go there, but you still have to get accepted to go in.
True.
I mean, there's a high and a low here. They don't just take anybody to where a state school, their charter says they have to take everybody.
Everybody, yeah. No, you're right.
Everybody goes to a state school.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the
you
thing.
You pay for it, but you can go.
Still go. Yeah. Well, Nate, we appreciate the call. We got someone else on the other line. We're going to have to take that one,
guys.
man.
You have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Nate. We appreciate it. We're going to go to the Red 17's phone line. We got Mike on the line. Mike, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great. I appreciate y'all taking my call. I was just going to ask Brian, did the Bulldogs beat the Delaware Mud Hens or whatever they are?
That's actually a good question. I wasn't able to follow it.
Well, President Biden wants to know. He's getting ready for his 6th State of the Union speech. Enough politics. I want to talk to you about law. Okay? Chancellor Haggerty in Knoxville. Y'all are talking some real smart stuff now. Here's an interesting thing. There's like 3 states in this country that still have chancery courts. I think it's Rhode Island, Tennessee, and Mississippi.
I think you're right.
That gives you an idea how stupid that is. Anyway,
very true.
Just remember there are 3 Auburn votes on the Alabama Supreme Court in case Benny Holcomb makes it there.
Yeah, true.
But that's not enough. Hopefully, my classmate Alyssa Kelly Wise. Whatever, I won't go there. But I want to talk about Haggerty and Aguilar, man, because that's something I do know about. You talk the Mississippi lawyers for Chambliss did a great thing. They said, well, the NCAA is a citizen of every state they operate in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, over in Knoxville, the argument was that Aguilar was hurting a whole other class of people and restricting their opportunities.
Yeah.
In other words, high schoolers. In other words, Fajan Brandon. In other words, George McIntyre II.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. Tennessee people, I think I can say this because I am a ball fan, and I live in Tennessee, and I listen to y'all via the Apple thing.
Thank you.
I love you. You're great. This is a great radio station. I don't call down there just to listen to my own voice. But nobody up here is sad that guy lost.
That's right.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe his mom is. I don't know. I don't want to say that. But, it's time for him to go.
Well, let me tell you this real quick, because that's the second time I've heard this today. Let's go ahead and say this, though. Jeffrey had them winning more games had Aguilar made it. So, in his mind, there's a chance with them making the playoffs had Aguilar made it. That was Jeffrey's stance on Friday when we talked about it. So, you don't think the Volunteers are better with him than without him?
They might have started better. I don't know their schedule. They usually have a cupcake, Listen, McIntyre is the real deal, and Fajan Brandon's supposed to be the next Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
You got McIntyre is supposed to be the next Peyton Manning because of his metrics, and Brandon's supposed to be the next Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they're hurting that bad. Now, of course, I'm prejudiced. I don't want to throw this out there. McIntyre's great-grandmother is my grandmother, and that's all I'm going to say. I think I know what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Thank you very much for taking my call. And hey, Brian.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm hopefully gonna be at Highway 100 Brew House.
Oh, come on. I should be up
Take a
there.
good one. Yeah.
By the way,
well, no, you shouldn't. It's cold.
That's true.
Yeah,
by the way,
very cold.
Mississippi State swept the Blue Hens.
Yeah, they did. I was going to let you look it up because I knew they did.
We won't tell President Biden.
He won't know anyway.
Well, we'll look forward for McIntyre to call in as well.
Yeah,
so hook us up with that call. We appreciate it, Mike.
All right, okay. Yeah, I'll try to get it. Bye.
Just real quick, ironically, the NCAA's argument there, not so much legally, but from a PR standpoint, is finally the best argument they ever could have made.
Yeah, I agree with that.
As it relates to its denying high school athletes a chance. From a PR standpoint, that's the best argument they could have made.
Well, that's a good point. When we come back, we are going to talk about USA and all the gold we're wearing around our neck, baby. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Here in the game. Call or text us now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your spot for college basketball.
And it goes in at the buzzer. Got it.
Listen to select games from the LSU Tigers, Florida Gators, the Auburn Tigers, and the biggest games around the country play here.
Three-pointer. Punch it in. Oh, you saw that coming, Ram.
The most live college basketball in the Panhandle.
The game is over.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Good evening. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Monday. Clear tonight with a wind out of the north at 11 miles per hour and a low of 34. Tomorrow morning, look for sunshine with a temperature near 43. The afternoon and evening, a high around 56 and sunshine. Wednesday, quite warm with a high of 69 and sprinkles. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Good luck surviving the offseason, football fans.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Football's over, it's like a part of me just died inside. 200 days till football's back, but tonight I won't just cry, cause I've got a ways to play. And that's the place with Hard Rock Bet, I will survive.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Crawfish season is back and the heat is on at Lone Star Boil House. Lone Star Boil House is where the locals go for delicious, mouth-watering Cajun crawfish, shrimp, buttery red royals, and everything crab. Plus, Lone Star Boil House is now serving liquor. Get crawfish 6 days a week, open to close. To-go crawfish also available at the front bar, and crush the follow on Facebook for frequent food and drink specials. Lone Star Boil House, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
WGSX Lynn Nathan W. Field, Q Port St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Junior Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
The rack. Layup good and one. Off the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it. To the rack. Dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Number 12, Florida at Texas. Wednesday, tip-off at 6 on 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
His major in college, the sweet brown liquor.
Wait, you changed your name to McLovin? McLovin?
LSU Jeff is part of the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
and you're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. For all you Eastern time zone people, it's 6 o'clock over there with you. So we're so glad to have you joined in today. Don't forget, you can be a part of the show, 850-215-6290, the Red 70s phone line. Red 70s, your spot for all things custom apparel right here in the Panhandle. Visit them on their Facebook page at Red 70s. Just how it sounds. Either way, we're pumped up. I got Brian Haddad in the building. Jeffrey's here. Bone Crusher's here. And we're discussing, for the first time, USA. The hockey and men's and women team winning the gold medal. Now, I'll tell you this. We're not big on hockey on this show because I don't really know what I'm talking about. You hit the ball, hit the puck into the net.
The ball?
I don't know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That lets you know right off the gate.
You got going too fast. I was going to say that hadn't stopped you with anything else, but, you know.
I mean, I just don't really know a lot about the sport. I was born in South Alabama where we had...
We saw the Mobile Mystics play.
The Mobile Mystics came through for a short time, went to one game, and it was fun. It was entertaining, but it was, just something that you would have to go experience. So I don't know a lot about hockey, and so
what is there to know?
I mean,
knuckle puck.
Well, there's icing. I don't know what that means. I mean, what does that mean? I thought that's what you put on cakes.
All you need to know is the Mighty Ducks knuckle puck.
I know that.
So you're saying that soccer is easier to learn than hockey?
Soccer's a little bit better. I don't know all sides in soccer. I don't know what that means.
That's not that hard at all.
Yeah, both are easy. But
let me ask you this. So with that being said, Mighty Ducks, top 5 in sports movies?
No, absolutely not. No.
It's fun.
What?
It's not a top 5 movie.
It's not a top 5 movie.
It's barely a top 5 hockey movie.
Emilio Estevez playing, the
barely a top 5
the head coach that was hurt, now comes back and plays in the
When you have Miracle,
NHL?
when you have Slapshot.
Miracle is great. Miracle is great. Never watched Slapshot. Miracle was great.
No, Slapshot's definitely up there too. Yeah.
Oh wow, Jeffrey from South Louisiana.
Yeah, and I don't like hockey, and I don't like soccer. So I'd rather watch tennis.
Hockey is unbelievable live. It really is fun to be there live.
Yeah.
And playoff hockey is another level.
Yeah.
It really
and
is
I know
fun.
a lot of people talk about it. One of the guys that I know that talks about hockey actually is calling in right now.
Yeah,
so we're going to go
unreal.
to the Red 70s phone line. We got Ty on the line. Ty, give us the rundown on this USA hockey, what it means, how long this has been. Tell us, my friend, because I am drawing blanks over here because I don't know anything about it.
What's going on, guys? Huge win for the U.S. this year. It's been 46 years since the United States won the gold last. 1980 was the last win, the infamous Miracle on Ice when we beat Russia. Also the first time the USA men's has won gold in hockey not in the United States.
Wow.
The last two they won were in Lake Placid and Lake Tahoe, so we've never won on foreign soil. And then, obviously, to beat Canada for it all is huge. They've kind of owned us in recent history as far as hockey goes, which they should. It's their sport. So I think it's super special. The women's team, they also beat Canada 2-1 in overtime, and then to have the men's team win 2-1 in overtime, and the men's team was completely outplayed for the whole game. Yeah. I mean, Canada outplayed them, and they almost doubled the shot count. Connor Hellebuck, the United States goalie, really stood on his head and brought he deserves, the MVP of that, the whole thing. And the women's put on a great performance. They went undefeated, never lost a game the whole time. I think they outscored opponents 36-2 or something.
Wow.
Through all their games. So, hockey is really coming up in the United States, especially. It's always been big in North America. But another thing is, I told you this earlier today, that there was a post on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, 15 years ago, I think, this account had posted and tagged the Olympic Committee and said, heads up, USA hockey registration has just crossed 100,000 registrations, and they were basically tagging the 2026 Olympics, saying watch out for the team coming that year.
Wow.
And so it's just crazy, like poetic justice, that they won it. And the story around them, obviously I'm a big Michigan homer. There was 4 former Wolverines on the U.S. team. All 3 of the players who were on the ice when the U.S. won the gold were all born in Michigan. And Keller, who won for the women's in overtime, was also born in Michigan. So I'm really happy there. I got to see the Block M flag hanging behind the net there at the end and all the celebrations. But, yeah, huge win for the United States and really put us on the map after losing, because we lost in the Four Nations to Canada in overtime. So they kind of chirp us about that. You know, they had booed the national anthem. There was a lot of controversy around that, and then they beat us in overtime. And they beat us in 2010 in overtime. Sidney Crosby beat us back then. So it feels good to get a win over them, and really big for the team. I saw they just got back today, so it's really cool.
Let me ask you this, Ty. So the goalie, and you named him, I don't know what you said his name was, but
Connor Hellebuck.
Okay, so did he really have a bass fish on his helmet?
Yeah, so he on the left side of his mask, you know, I played goalie for 25 years, so it's really special as a goalie like that. You know, that's where you get to kind of put your personality out to everyone else. So you have a lot of things on there, you know, that like mean a lot to you. All these goalies have very unique painted masks with a lot of things on it that mean stuff. So I actually just watched a video on this last night, and he had a big largemouth bass on the side of his mask, and they were, you know, kind of doing like an ESPN 30 for 30, if you will, with him. And he basically described that where he lives. It's funny because another tidbit is that Hellebuck is actually a goalie for the Winnipeg Jets in Canada, and Canada's goalie is on an American team for the St. Louis Blues. So they're both, you know, they both have to go back home to their teams to the opposite countries. But they did an interview, and he's a big bass fisherman. He actually does a lot of bass fishing with a pro fisherman up there in Winnipeg. And he's really big in it. Like, I guess the whole summer during the off season, if he's not training, he's basically on the water bass fishing. So, yeah, he loves it.
So you own Humbert Diesel, and I want to give a little plug for that. So on your mast, did you have a 6'7" on the side?
I sure did. Not back in that day, I didn't.
You know, but that speaks even more to his point about this was the first time since a Miracle on Ice. In fact, it was, 46 years to the day that we beat the Soviets, which wasn't the gold medal game, but it was the big one everybody remembers. But speaking to how long ago that is, you know, now you have all the artwork on the helmets. Jim Craig in 1980 wore like a Jason mask. I mean, that's what they wore.
They used to wear back then. And even when I was a kid playing in high school growing up, like, if you had a mask painted like that, your parents were loaded. Like, I wore a plain white mask, didn't even have a chrome cage. Like, even back then, having a chrome cage on your mask was, you know, fancy. Nowadays, these things are literally true pieces of art. Like, especially in the Olympics, you know, in the 7 nations, when you have the last one in the 4 nations, he had, you know, they have the Statue of Liberty painted on the side. You know, they have some really cool designs. And I think it's that's something a lot of people don't know. Like, and I talked to you about this, Paul, and I think I just caught the tail end of your guys' comments when I called in, but to watch hockey on TV, and I love the sport. I've played it for how many years, you know, traveled all over the country playing, and to me, even sometimes it's boring watching on TV. I don't watch many regular season games, but when the playoffs come, it's different. When the Olympics come, it's different. And to go live, the environment to me is beat by no other live sporting event. Maybe I would choose like a Michigan-Ohio State college football game or a big rival, but the environment at a hockey game, it's just in the arena, it's packed, the fans are involved in everything happening at the arena, and you have to check one out if you've never been. I think personally that game we just watched was the best hockey game I've seen in my adult life, you know, watching hockey on TV. That's the best game I've seen, hands down. And then, of course, the stakes of it makes it all that much better.
I'm glad you acknowledge that Michigan is a hockey school. No, the crazy part is, what's crazy part is they're laughing, but if you look it up, I mean, there's like 5 different schools that won like multiple titles, and Michigan is big.
Yeah, Michigan has the most players, I think, actively in the NHL. They, like I said, they had 4 on Team USA in the Olympics. Like, they are really a hockey school. Like, there's a lot of big name players that you know that have come through there. So yeah, I mean, they're a hockey school. I'll take that.
So what is it? Michigan State, I think, has won like 2 or 3 national titles. And what do y'all have? Like Great Lakes University?
Michigan has won 9.
Michigan's won 9.
9 as hockey, yeah.
And was it Lake Superior State University or something like that? I mean, there's a bunch of schools up there.
I couldn't tell you, but there's there's all. I mean, Michigan. Like I said, there was every player on the ice when US won was from the state of Michigan, not that they all came from the university. The women's goal scorer that won in overtime, Keller, she's from Michigan. Like, it's also it's a pipeline with this new. They have a development program that's basically the Detroit metro area now, and they talked about it a lot during the Olympic coverage. And it started when all these guys, Jack Hughes and all these ones who just won the Olympics, when they were younger, is when this development program started, and that's a lot of the reason that so many of them are coming out of Michigan. They moved there just to. I mean, the Hughes family has 3 kids playing in the NHL.
Wayne Gretzky's from right across the Lake Superior in Thunder Bay, and he had to go to Toronto to get developed as a teenager, away from his family. I mean, his family didn't move to Toronto. He got to go on his own.
You know, you would see that more in Canada, whereas a lot of the American players will come through the collegiate system, or all the Canadian players would go through, what was the WHL or the AHL or whatever. And
OHL in Canada,
Right, and they would go through that kind of, it's almost like a farm system, if you will.
And I think a funny thing that a lot of people don't realize about hockey is that a lot of these players you watch in college, they're already drafted by an NHL team when they're in college.
Oh, okay.
So there's all of the players essentially on Michigan's team, at least, you know, all their starters, their top 5 or 10 guys, they're already drafted. I mean, we have one of our players is already projected to be first overall pick, and he's already basically picked. Like, the team's already selected him. He's going to the Penguins. So, I mean, it's like this and that's weird compared to all other sports. You know, these guys already know where they're going, and they're still in college.
Yeah, Ty, what do you think about the overtime rule? I know the Canadian coach made a thing out of it. It sounded like sour grapes, but everybody knew what we were dealing with going in. But just in general, are you a fan of kind of the 3-on-3, just wide open play, or would you rather see it? I don't like shootouts. I don't like them in soccer. I don't like them in hockey. I think the 3-on-3 is really crazy, exciting, and wide open, but it is a very different game than 5-on-5. So what do you think about the overtime rules?
I personally think that the Olympics should handle it like the NHL does. In the regular season, it's 3-on-3, which not that part of it necessarily, but how the NHL handles overtime in the playoffs is how I think the Olympics should handle it. And that is, it's 5-on-5 for 20 minutes, as many overtimes as it takes. It's full strength, even strength, full periods. I like 3-on-3 for regular season. I don't mind the 3-on-3, and then we go to the shootout for regular season, which is better than how it used to be when we used to tie. Now we don't end up with ties and weird points for the playoffs and all that. But for the Olympics, I think the Canadian, I think John Cooper's probably a little salty. He doesn't like the format. If you ask my opinion, you had 60 minutes before that to win the game 5-on-5. You had a 2-minute 5-on-3. You couldn't score. So they had their chances to win. But me personally, I would like to see it 5-on-5, 20 minutes, which is how it used to be. And I think the hockey this year was so good. We also didn't have NHL players. For the last 3 Olympics, they were not allowed to play in the Olympics. So the last time we had NHL players was 2010.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which is when Canada won.
That's right, with Crosby.
That's when Crosby scored the overtime winner. Basically the players' union couldn't come to an agreement. You know, the union, they couldn't. They were worried who was going to pay for travel and all this. It was a money thing, basically.
Wow. Let me ask you this, Ty. With the new celebrity status that the kid that everybody's talking about, give me his name one more time.
Jack Hughes.
Jack Hughes. Okay, so I noticed that he's got his front tooth is chipped. Do you think that's going to be a thing? Do you think some kids are going to go to the dentist and get their front tooth chipped just so they can be like him?
I saw an interview with him, actually. As soon as he got off the plane in Miami, of course, all the TV cameras were there in the airport, and a couple of the guys stopped, and they asked him what was he most excited for, and he said he was most excited to have his good smile back. So he's already thinking about going to the dentist. And I think I told you earlier today that it's kind of a joke, too, on Canada that I don't know how many of you know who Tate McRae is. She's obviously made some waves in the world as of recent, but she's like Canada's princess. You know, she's a musician, and she's super attractive, and that's his girlfriend. So now the joke is, like, he stole your princess, and we took hockey from you before.
Got your girl.
So, I don't think he'll keep his tooth chipped like that for very long. I mean, they got some really good pictures. Yeah, I think as soon as I can find that picture for sale where he has the flag draped around him with his fist in the air with his bloody mouth, I'll probably buy that and hang it up in my office.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to get somebody's going to, whether it's Aspen Dental or he's going to get some kind of sponsorship deal on his teeth for sure. He'll be.
I did read that someone had said that tooth was already chipped, that it possibly was already fake, and then it got knocked out. But either way, it was nasty stick to the mouth. It's funny because a lot of people who don't watch hockey think that they're missing teeth because of pucks, but most players who are missing teeth is from high sticks most of the time.
High sticks meaning just they're hitting them with it?
That's right. I really hope
up and catches them in the mouth.
I really hope the NHL understands how much good was done for the sport of hockey by these guys being in there.
So big.
I mean, it was huge. There's so many people like me who don't watch it all that often. I'll come around in the playoffs or something. I'm so jacked about hockey after watching and look, the women too, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But it was so cool watching these guys play and knowing that, they go at it for their clubs all the time, but this hit different, and it's just got so much spotlight on the game. I just hope the NHL and the Players Union all understands that and keeps us up because it's great for the sport.
Well, they should just
I think they should see it by now. I mean, the Four Nations did the same thing.
Right.
I had never seen so many non-hockey people.
That's right.
You have to realize when you're talking the Olympics, these are the best players from every team. Like, these are not just second and third liners. These are every team's top 5 guys. And then you add the element where these guys are going at each other and they got to be teammates next week. Like, it's just different. Like, there's nothing like that in the world. And if they don't realize it and keep it, they're crazy.
Well, Ty, we sure do appreciate you. And I think Trump going online and just basically laying them out, I think that was golden, too. I mean, what a U.S. president going out there on Twitter.
You knew he was going to get his jabs in.
Oh, yeah, you knew it. Well, thank you so much for the segment. You were awesome. Like I said, if there's anything that comes up hockey, you're going to be my go-to, man. I appreciate you.
All right, y'all keep it locked here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
My man. Thank you so much, Ty. We appreciate you, buddy.
I mean, he's right. That guy's game was exciting from beginning to end, but it was a better overall game, but the women's finish was way more exciting.
Yeah, that's
because
what
we were
saying,
trailing. We pulled our keeper. We scored to tie it with 2 minutes to go, and then the goal that Keller scored, oh, my God. It was
edge
unreal.
of your seat, too.
It was
That's
unreal.
so good. But we're going to have to take our next break. When we come back, we got the captain in the building. PCB Hobbies here. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 17 Studio Line. The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is designed specifically for sports fanatics like you. The sports content you demand is always on. Live stream our national and local sports talk anywhere you go. Reach us on all social media. You can also be a part of the show. Call and text into our studios. Plus, up-to-the-minute weather and traffic maps. The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is available at the Apple Store and Google Play.
Good evening. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Monday. Clear tonight with a wind out of the north at 11 miles per hour and a low of 34. Tomorrow morning, look for sunshine with a temperature near 43. The afternoon and evening, a high around 56 and sunshine. Wednesday, quite warm with a high of 69 and sprinkles. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has your chance to win. Subs, chips, and drinks for 4 at Jersey Mike's on 23rd Street. Just open the ESPN Northwest Florida app and crush the contest button.
Winning
The ESPN Northwest Florida app is available for Android and Apple.
Your goals matter, and at Anytime Fitness Panama City, they're ready to help you crush them. With expert coaching, personal training, and virtual workouts through the Anytime Fitness app, you'll have all the support you need inside the club and beyond. Limited time only. Join today for just $1 down and start your fitness journey now. Don't wait. Visit 107 West 23rd Street, Suite W8, or call 850-818-8184. Anytime Fitness. Let's make healthy happen.
The Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, where the listeners call the plays.
What do you like about this guy? He's all flash. He's no substance. And if there's a better opportunity, he's going to jump for it.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for college basketball. Don't forget Auburn tomorrow night and Florida on Wednesday night right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You want to be a part of the show? That's no problem. Call in, text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. Brian's here, Jeffrey's here, Bone Crusher's here, and now the captain is in the building. PCB Hobby Time with Todd. How you doing today, Todd?
Happy Monday, everybody.
Good to see you here, man. You've been traveling. You've been out of pocket, which is not a weird thing because you're always everywhere. So give us a little bit of update of what's been going on with you, the shop, and in Orlando.
That's right. So Orlando is going very well, and I'm going down there Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So I will be down there Wednesday, and probably on Monday, March 2nd, we'll have soft opening.
Nice.
So Drew is already down there, and we are we got cases built. We got supplies, all kinds of stuff to put up, shelves, all that stuff. But the place is pretty much built out, so everything's done.
Good.
Everything's good to go there, so we're pretty excited.
How many people have tried to put their input on how to market it and everything, and the everything that's going to be showing and everything?
Nobody, and here's why.
Oh, wow.
We're just stamping out what we have.
Yep. Yeah.
What we have fine-tuned to what works. Mm-hmm. And you can ask Brian. Brian's at shop every day. I mean, it works. It's fine-tuned. We literally will look exactly like the one up here.
Yep.
You'll walk in, it just won't have the coin part on the side, like it kind of L's out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It just is a straight box.
Straight box. Okay.
But you'll have all four categories, all four departments. It'll look very similar. Mm-hmm. The floor is the same floor. The lights are the same lights. The black ceiling is the same ceiling. The cases are the same. The slat wall is the same colors. I mean, everything's the same. It's just a stamp out. So it was actually really easy, and there was very little input. I think the biggest thing we inputted about was where we should actually have the sports cards versus the TCGs. Mm-hmm. But we knew where we wanted the coins, and we knew where we wanted the comics the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Do you expect Disney to be bigger down there because you're in Orlando?
Absolutely. I think that Disney needs us. I think it's important that Disney recognizes that the captain's coming.
There you go.
And,
we're coming.
All right.
They're coming.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'll call Mickey if you need me to.
Please do.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you have those type of connections.
I do.
So.
I do.
You'll probably have more Disney adults down there, too.
Yes, we will. Disney, yes, it's for kids, but it's also for many adults. Many, many, many. Remember, there's 78 million people a year that visit Orlando, Florida, for Disney, the parks, all that stuff. That is 10 times as many people that visit Panama City Beach. And so knowing that and understanding that it's 10 times the traffic in the area, much larger area though, take that with a grain of salt. So not everyone's going to be concentrated to us versus how it is kind of here.
Yeah.
I mean.
And I guarantee you they don't have 25 years of Back Beach Road construction going on as well.
I would say you're wrong. You're wrong.
Well,
we are
so
on
much
Turkey
on that
Lake.
exit. Yeah.
Yeah, we are in Turkey Lake and Sand Lake, and it's been under construction for years. So we'll see how long it takes them to finish that project. But Turkey Lake itself is not under construction, thank God.
That's right.
So it'll be pretty easy to get to the shop. But I think a lot of those people will find us. eventuality.
Yeah.
You know, the eventuality of it is that they'll find us, and it'll be really good. So we're excited about that. I mean, honestly, we think we're going to get a high volume of traffic. We think we're going to get to sell a lot, and we sell a good bit here, but we buy a good bit here too.
Yeah.
And I think we'll be able to, again, times that by some sort of multiplier, maybe 2 to 3 times what we do here, which is great. I mean, it'll be a fantastic location, fantastic for getting lots of new inventory and stuff like that. But it actually, Orlando usurped Las Vegas.
Wow.
And the reason I'm bringing up Las Vegas is I was in Las Vegas last week. And I stupidly thought it would be smart to go there on Sunday.
Drive back.
Yeah, exactly. I stupidly thought it would be okay to drive a collection back that I bought. And I did. So Drew and I drove back and took us 3 days and in a Penske truck, and that was terrible.
Yes.
But we did it. And
How big was the collection?
Yeah.
Let's just say the least, I got a 26-foot Penske truck, the largest they make.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next size is a semi-truck.
Yeah, and the seats aren't very comfortable.
No, they're not. They're not.
A lot of bouncing.
The limiting to 70 miles an hour was a killer, especially through Texas when the speed limit's 75.
Texas really is a country.
Yeah.
So, it's wide.
Anyways, we had a good time, though. We had fun. We got to go out to Vegas. Didn't play any, games or anything like that. Just, we were in business mode.
Because I wasn't there.
Basically. But we were in business mode. But we did acquire the collection. It was super exciting, and we ended up bringing it back. So that was this last week. And then I was in Orlando right before that. We got pretty much the townhouse set up and everything, and checked on the progress, and of course, like that. But they pretty much have everything done. I think security system's going in tomorrow, and that's pretty much it. And then we're going to start loading up with inventory and things like that. So
I got a vision of him getting pulled over in Louisiana, and they say, "What's in the back of your truck?"
Oh, trust me.
That's funny. If I told you, that's what his answer should be.
I would have said exactly that.
Yes.
Crawfish.
Yep. Yeah. Yes, crawfish.
Are in the back of my truck. Anyways, so that's been going on. We've still been streaming. We had a really, really, really cool stream this last weekend. We had an artist spotlight again. Kevin Eastman, the creator of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Wow.
Was
That's fantastic.
And it was huge. It was massive.
Wow.
Massive. So that was Friday and Saturday night. Got to go to dinner with him and his wife on Sunday. That was a lot of fun.
Did y'all eat pizza?
The funny thing is, I'm sure he got asked that question. I'm sure he did 1,000 times. But I actually did not ask him, and nor do I know.
Yeah.
But he certainly likes Firefly, so that's
cool. That's good.
That was fun. So I took him to a local place, and pretty excited about that. They had a good time, and they really enjoyed themselves. So that went very well, and that was really cool. So we did that, and then of course, Devin is at the ANA, which is the American Numismatic Association's coin show. They put on once a year, and they move it around. So like it's been in Chicago, it's been in Pittsburgh, it's in Savannah, Georgia this weekend, or this week. So he's there right now, taking care of business, buying up all kinds of inventory for our streams and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing on the coin side of things.
Is that affecting, obviously we always talk about gold up, down, silver up, down.
It might affect a little bit today because it did pop up pretty good today, but we don't buy a lot of silver and gold. It's mostly collector coins is what we're after.
Yeah.
Because anybody can get silver and gold. I mean, that's pretty obtainable.
Right.
And so on the streams, if that's all you have, then you're just a bullion shop.
Yeah.
And so we have all kinds of different stuff.
Yep.
But anyways, and then today, the TCG department, they got back from Miami CollectCon. Very successful con. Called me several times. Plenty of big deals, plenty of good stuff acquired, which is what we mostly go to those for. And then, of course, we resell the stuff on the stream. And we get boxes, of Pokemon, and we break those open, and then people buy packs and stuff on the stream. And so it's really cool, and you get a lot of inventory that you don't have access to when you go to these cons. So it's actually kind of nice. They also called me with a comic collection while they were down there. Somebody came in with their comic book collection.
Wow.
And so we bought that, too.
So let me ask you a dumb question. This is definitely probably the one that's the dumbest, but it's one of the ones that I don't know. Why is everything called something con? What does that mean?
Convention.
So it's convention.
It's just convention. It's a cool word for convention.
Cool, yeah, a shortened word of saying
idea.
convention, like Miami Collector Convention. they just call it Collect-A-Con.
Okay.
So,
I got you.
Sometimes it just sounds a lot better. But, but a lot of the TCG cons and a lot of the comic cons. Now, coin shows you don't call cons; they're coin shows.
Yeah.
You know. And then, of course, you have sports card shows, which a lot of times are not called cons. However, some of these cons intermingle with sports and TCGs as well.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of cons there.
There could be. I don't know. I don't know.
I was thinking about this. What's going to be crazy cool about the new shop is, it's already neat. So, like when the fun show goes on or when Orlando Comic-Con goes on.
Which is 2-3 weeks from now.
We're 5 hours away.
Now.
Down there, we're going to be 5 miles away.
No.
If that. Not even that.
Literally 9 minutes, and it's only because you got to go up Turkey Lake, over Sand Lake, and back down International.
It's literally just on the other side of I-4.
The I-4 from us.
Wow.
So,
that'll be good.
that is unreal. And so that's what the neat thing about it is that we're going to be able to go to MegaCon this year, which is the largest comic show in America. We're going to get to go to that, and we'll have our store open already, and we'll be able to bring people that we know, especially high-end people that we know,
back to the shop,
back to the new shop, and get to show them the new shop.
Well, I'm excited about being able to see the shop then.
Yeah, so
it's
really
one of your high-end people.
Come on.
I really wasn't talking like that type of high-end, like weirdo high-end. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about normal people high-end. You were drifting off.
How close are we to eBay Live in multiple languages? Because you're going to Orlando.
I love what you just said, honestly, because one of the biggest things out of Sharon's mouth was, look, we have got to hire somebody who's multilingual immediately, day one.
Yeah.
Because there are a ton of Spanish-speaking and other language-speaking people in that area because of coming into Disney.
Yep.
So that is actually on our radar, and I love that you said that. Number two, there actually is a lot of Spanish people who actually collect comics, believe it or not. They actually, there is a big base of Spanish comic collectors out
and it's
there.
not just Puerto Ricans.
No. It's
Colombians,
Mexico,
Venezuelans,
Colombia,
Cubans have moved up and everything.
Right, and so a lot of them actually, especially that live in the United States, who have now disposable income, they do love collecting comic books. So that is actually, and we had on our TCG stream for a while, a girl named Naeli, and she was fluent in Spanish.
Yeah.
And so we were able to have her stream, and that helped. But that was very early on when we didn't have a big following. Now it would go nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this, just so you know, just to help the shop out. I don't know how to speak any of those languages, but I do know a guy that can speak Cajun. So,
we'll never have it in Cajun. They'll be buying gold, and that's about it.
For their teeth, right?
Exactly. Nice. So it's everything's been really good. We're super excited. It's busy all the time. Like I said, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to be down there for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So we'll not see you guys then. But I wouldn't mind still doing the Monday radio. So if I could just call in, maybe
that'd be fantastic.
We could do it that way, because I am going to be indisposed with that. But Bill's going to be traveling down there next week sometime as well. And I'll
be there Monday,
and you'll be there Monday. So we'll have a small staff down there. We'll get it going.
Yeah.
So Dr. Sharon's going to be down there as well. So that's going to be fun. She's going to help out in the store as well and work on some comic book stuff too, because she has a good background in that.
And I think she'll keep you in line while you're in Orlando.
I doubt that.
Focused.
Nobody keeps me in line. let's call it what it really
Nobody
is.
puts baby in a corner.
Exactly. Other than that, shop's the shop. I mean, sure, Brian's got some updates on what we got going on.
We bought a lot. Good Lord. I mean, Todd goes out to Vegas. I just have to stay here and buy stuff. But we actually picked up a lot of good collections in the shop this week. So a lot of good singles, a lot of really cool stuff. And this week for new releases, it's a little more tame. Of course, we've had 2 crazy weeks with Series 1 coming out. Topps Rip Night was Saturday. That went great. Enjoyed seeing you guys in your shirts.
We wore the Topps Rip Night shirts. It was really good.
But it was a really good time. A lot of kids came in. A lot of adults came in, had a good time. Had Pokemon event and everything like that. So it was really busy this weekend. I think we got some of the football people who were in for the 7-on-7. I think they came in as well. But it was great. This week, really, there's not much. Topps Finest Basketball will come out later this week. It's just another product outside of Topps Chrome's. Really nice looking stuff. And then hopefully, because they've delayed it about 4 times, we will actually get a new Topps WWE product. It's been delayed over and over and over. But right now, the tentative date is Friday for WWE Universe. And that's big because we're on the road to WrestleMania here, and a lot of people have been anxiously waiting new Topps WWE products. So hopefully we will see that toward the end of the week. But outside of that, just the same good old fun we always have down at PCB Hobby.
Can you give us any? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It was funny because actually when I was in Vegas, we're there, and one of our guys that watches our comic stream hit up Big Kern and was like, "Hey, I live in Vegas. I want to have dinner with you guys." And we're like, well, we're kind of busy, blah, 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 but we'll come see you. So we got to go to his house and see his memorabilia collection, and it was insane.
That's cool.
It was insane. Crazy. But he asked me, he said, do you guys buy stuff? I was like, yeah, we buy stuff all the time. And he had a small comic collection, and he had lost in some way. He had lost a big group of his stuff when he had it as a kid, and so he's starting to buy comics now, and he's getting into comics. And he said, "Do you buy sports cards?" I said, "Sure." And he had a bunch of memorabilia and stuff. So I ended up buying a 500 home run ball. That basically had the 11 500 home run people on it. Mantle, Williams, all the people, with PSA certificate. So I got that ball. I got a Larry Bird basketball. I got a football with like a draft class that had Aaron Hernandez on it. Yeah. The killer Aaron Hernandez.
I know who he is. Yeah. Not personally, but I know who he is.
Trying to dodge him.
So we got those 3 memorabilia items, and then he had a big card collection. So I ended up buying the card collection, bringing it to Brian. Brian priced everything out, and we're going to take it down to Orlando, and that's going to be some of the stuff we're going to have down there.
I'm going to leave it a little vague that we'll get to, but let me just say this. If you are an old school Star Wars fan...
Oh, yeah.
There are some Grail pieces.
Chris already told me. He said
Grail.
Yeah, Big Kern already said. He said, "Do not let those cards go down there. Do not. I want to sell them." And I was like, "We'll see."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who wrote it, but somebody, I don't know, maybe the boss said that we need to keep the Larry Bird ball here for Paul to put it right here somewhere.
You're second on dibs on that one, my friend.
I did hear that through the grapevine, and I said, "Paul who?"
Yeah.
Paul who? And then
you put the in front of it, then you know exactly who it was.
But I mean, the card collection was. I mean, it was great
amazing.
too.
We had a good
there's
time
some really cool stuff.
And then he gave us Back to the Future, signed by Michael J. Fox, and the Doc framed photo thing, and that was for Chris and for Anna, his wife. So, anyways, that was really cool. But had a good time visiting and buying the collection and stuff like that. But
that's what I was going to ask you. I wanted to know if you had any teasers of what was going, that you said you had bought some stuff. And
yeah, I mean, so we picked up a Steph Curry rookie in a very high grade of BGS 9. I mean, it's like a $2,000 card that, you just don't come across those very often. Picked that up in the shop. A lot of kind of what I would consider very liquid, $75 to $200 type of things. Ironically, picked up a ton of Paolo Banchero, Orlando Magic star, that if you don't come in this week, they may be going to Orlando.
I was going to say.
Of course.
So, some Shaquille O'Neal PSA 10 rookies that you just don't come across. A lot of different kind of stuff. But basketball, football heavy, because we had bought so much baseball before, it actually worked out really well. But
it's interesting.
A lot of different stuff.
Because some of the stuff down in Orlando that we're going to have is some silver and what we call New Zealand Mint or Agoro. Agoro is the brand of the company that makes a lot of specialized Disney character silver and colorized silver and stuff like that. So there'll be a lot of Star Wars silver down there. We'll have it'll be a lot of theme stuff that we think when customers come in, they're there in that, of course, the mantra mindset of that and that mindset. So they're going to be like much more like willing to buy that stuff than somebody in Panama City Beach who comes in and says, "There's a Disney Princess silver round, of Snow White, colorized." Do they really care? No. But down there, they will in Orlando.
How much would a Shaq rookie card go for, though?
It depends on what it is. It depends on which one. His base tops, the problem is he was in the era where they printed a billion of them.
Yeah.
And so they're $10, $15, $20.
Yeah. Now, if you
PSA
find a
10,
PSA 10's almost $200.
Yeah, I was going to say PSA 10 probably $200, but for the most part, that's all you're going to find.
That's right.
Something like that. But
Well,
anyways,
it sounds busy. It sounds awesome. We're
been
going to have to
crazy.
go, but give us the address and the phone number.
Okay, so again, we are at 11939 Panama City Beach Parkway. It's 850-320-8388, and we're next to Florida Linden's on Back Beach. That's kind of how we... The new address is going to be 8972 Turkey Lake Road, and that's in Orlando, obviously. So if you're traveling down to Disney or going down to Orlando for anything from this area, and you do like to come to the shop, come to our new shop. Just come see it at least. Yeah. You know, that would be a lot
Just
of fun.
think Sand Lake exit.
As far as the phone number, I think what we're going to do at this point, we haven't really worked it out, but we have our system already that basically when you call our regular phone number, it'll probably say press 1 for the retail store in Panama City Beach, press 2 for the retail store in Orlando.
Yeah.
So
and 3 for Spanish. I'm joking.
And you never know.
You never know.
And the thing is the easiest way to know is when you go to Disney, don't eat the turkey leg. So go to Turkey Lake.
Turkey Lake.
There you go.
By the way, I love the turkey legs at Disney. If you've ever had one, they're so
dry.
Wait.
No.
So, I was there like a little over 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
There were people that brought turkey legs into a fine dining restaurant in Italy in Epcot, and they got bounced out of there. And so out of the lobby, you're like, get out of our restaurant.
Yeah,
That's funny.
They should have.
Okay, that's hilarious.
Either way, we're going to go ahead and take our next break. Thank you so much, Todd, for being here. We appreciate it. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit of college basketball. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
After a last-second win over Kentucky, the Auburn Tigers traveled to Norman to face the Oklahoma Sooners in a critical SEC showdown. This game carries significant postseason implications as the Tigers are fighting to stay on the NCAA tournament bubble. Tip-off tomorrow at 8 on your home for college basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Think your season's over? Let's turn your off-season back on. Hoops is heating up on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal way to bet the NBA. So you can bet on teams, star players, and more. With games practically every day, there's always something to parlay. Roll with Hard Rock Bet all NBA season. New users get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets. Max bet of $50 per bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has your chance to win. Subs, chips, and drinks for $4 at Jersey Mike's on 23rd Street. Just open the ESPN Northwest Florida app and crush the contest button.
Winning.
The ESPN Northwest Florida app is available for Android and Apple.
Now back to the Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Your spot for college basketball. Don't forget Tuesday, Auburn at Oklahoma at 8 o'clock. And then Wednesday, right after the show, Florida at Texas. That's going to be a good one right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't forget you can call in. You can text in on the Red 7T's phone line, 850-215-6290. Also, don't forget, man, It is getting very, very close to baseball season for the major leaguers as well. We're going to be pumped up for that. Jeffrey's looking forward to another year for them New York Yankees to get in the playoffs and win some big-time matchups against whoever they play. Ain't that right, Jeffrey?
Heck no.
4 greatest words in the English language.
That's
Pitchers
right.
and catchers report.
That
It's
is
baseball
right.
season, Jeff.
It is.
Yeah, and LSU's killing it.
They are.
Went to Jacksonville, and guess what they did? Friday, they beat Indiana.
Hey,
Saturday, they beat Notre Dame. And on Sunday, they beat Central Florida, UCF.
For the first time since we won, and I know we snuck into the regionals last year, but for the first time since we won the national championship, our first and only in school history, Mississippi State baseball is back. Top 3, looking good.
I'm going to be, and earlier we talked about it, UCLA, LSU, Mississippi State, you got Texas, Georgia Tech, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida's in the top 10.
But Jeff knows
Florida's taking a loss.
when they're both playing good
early.
Jeff knows this. When they're both playing good, LSU Mississippi State baseball series is a monster.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It is like it holds like 6 of the top 10 attendance records in NCAA baseball. When those two teams play and they're both good, it's unbelievable.
Not only did Florida lose, they lost like 11-0 to Cincinnati.
I know, but still, they're going to be fine. Their pitching is great. They're going to find it, figure it out.
Florida's going to be
do.
good by the end of this year. They may be great next year.
Yeah,
They've got some good sophomore talent this year.
There's people scoffing at Arkansas probably out of the loop.
Arkansas is still very good. They had to change over their pitching staff just a little bit. Once that settles out, they're still really good.
Yeah.
And you got to think Georgia's still top rated. Oklahoma's there.
You mean Georgia Tech?
No, Georgia. They're in the top 12.
I'm not as sold on Georgia yet, but we'll see.
They started out real hot last year.
Yeah, Alabama's done that a couple of times too, where they start out pretty good and then they kind of settle in. I'm more curious about Tennessee.
Yeah, they're ranked 20th right
that's
now.
a huge culture change, with Coach
New
leaving.
guy, yeah.
Vitello really that program was an extension of his entire mindset. So we'll see how they go forward.
And that's
Delmonico did a good job before. It's not like they didn't exist, but they really wrapped themselves into the mindset of Tony Vitello.
Yeah, they definitely took on his characteristics too. I mean, they played with passion. And that's the thing I was going to say about college baseball. It trickles down to high school baseball. We've been going out watching Arnold, and we're going to watch Bay and Mosley and all those guys around here, and they're really good baseball programs. Rutherford, and Bozeman too. Don't want to forget them. But I'll tell you this. The excitement of being there and seeing these guys, especially whenever you got good versus good, when you see these kids that are getting Division I scholarships or just kids that are competing against those guys that they know that the scouts are there. We talked about going to the Arnold and South Walton game the other night. You had the Yankees were there, the Royals were there, and then you had Minnesota there. And the thing is watching these kids that know that who they're playing against is going to be first-round draft picks or going to be playing professional baseball, and to see them step up and try to play. Unfortunately, Arnold, was unable to match them at this time. But I'm just saying, the way they played the other night, Bozeman gave South Walton all they wanted, and that's the thing. You know what I mean? That's how it works.
And when you say, the scouts are out, I mean, Borthwick is like a tier 1.
Yeah, he's top 10. Top 10
They
pick.
think he's going top half of the first round right now.
Yeah, he's
now,
at number 10
we'll have to
slated.
see. And again, that's up against the college guys.
Right.
The funny thing is the development of college baseball and the fact that you can earn money now, the support system around college baseball is better than in the minor league. So it's not a given anymore. It used to be if you were kind of a top 4 or 5 round draft pick, you were going.
Yeah.
It was amazing if an Eric DuBose went to Mississippi State despite being drafted in the 4th round. Now, there are first-round guys who may decide to go into college. First round, maybe they still go, but the support system around you in college and the ability to make money, it's a tougher decision now than it's ever been.
Yeah,
but it's also coming out of college is why so many guys go straight to the bigs within 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Because they have that college experience, high level, on TV, pressure, playing great players.
And you got those kids that are like Paul Skeens that don't really mature, and he doesn't figure it out until
he
gets older. Yeah, and then the size helps, and all of the things helps, and learning more, and being in a program like LSU. But to the other point is like, when you're in the first round, it's a different set, like you're talking about. Sure. But then after that, the scholarships they're more now. They've got more scholarships to the programs because they added them. The NCAA added them, but still there's some that are still they're still having to pay that last little leg of but they're getting their NIL money, so it kind of cancels out. But you do have like your third round, your fourth rounds that are making anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000.
But what you're seeing
guys
now is you're an 18-year-old. And if you go become a professional, a lot of stuff is on you. And the support system around that is good for baseball, but maybe isn't great for personal development the way it is in college. When you have a better access to healthcare, you have better access to, obviously, to education, you have better access to nutrition, things that are actually taken care of for you more so than they are in the minor leagues. You have money in both. But the support network and the structure around you as a developing human being is significantly better at the collegiate level. What used to set pro baseball apart was that you could get paid there.
Right.
And now that's kind of similar. So I think you are seeing, first round to me is still tough to pass up.
Yeah.
But you are seeing a lot of kids really utilize going into these good college baseball programs, and the facilities are getting better. The coaching is getting better. There's money in college baseball
and seeing how they go from even going from D2, NAIA, and all those things going into a big program, because you're their ace here, you might be their third guy here, but then building up to be the first guy, which is fantastic, because once you get on that path, it's very easy. And I say not that it doesn't happen sometimes, but it's very easy. You get drafted in the 22nd round. Well, the next year you might go in the 13th round, and then you wait out just a little bit longer, have a really good junior year, and the next thing you know, you're a top 4, top 5 draft round, and then that's significantly more money. And like you said, you've really matured, and you've got more, they see more of you because now of being able to be on TV a lot more, which is very good. So, but those guys coming in, and let me say this real quick. The scouts that were there, it was amazing to me, because you knew when you looked at those guys how they were. They were younger, but you knew that they had either been in the organization and either had an injury, or they had been in the organization and just said, my time has passed, or it's not time for me. But they were younger guys. A lot of times you think about the movies where the movie with Clint Eastwood in it, where he was a scout and his daughter was a part of it. You think of these guys that are the old guys coming in and looking, but man, just the younger age of scouts.
I like
as well,
the fact that baseball will still send physical scouts out, because you can watch video. You have video access to everything now. You can run all the analytics. You can run the stats. You can see all that. It's still different seeing a player in front of you. There are things that you can pick up, and that's what makes the ultimate difference. Are those little intangibles that you pick up meeting someone or watching them in person, and those scouts know what they're looking for, because like you said, a lot of them were good athletes who maybe got injured or things didn't pan out, but they know what to look for.
Yeah, and there were South Walton the other night specifically had 2 kids, the Borthwick kid, but then the other kid that was actually pitching, he was hitting 92, 93 consistently on the gun, and he's 6'3", 6'4", somewhere around that area, 6'4", 6'5", I think. So, and Borthwick obviously being 6'7" and 260 pounds, playing shortstop and leading off.
But that's what they want to see. They can tell a guy's throwing 92, 93, 94, whatever like that, but they want to see the mechanics of how they do that. One of the reasons Skeens is so unbelievable is not what he throws. It's that his mechanics are flawless. So he's going to be available all the time. He doesn't have to kill himself to throw that and get himself injured and have Tommy John. I mean, this guy's mechanics are so sound that he should be able to continue doing that at a high level over a long period of time.
So you've seen like how his releases and everything, and it looks like he's throwing maybe one pitch. He's throwing
Right.
4 different pitches, and it's coming at you the same way.
release point, but also he's not falling off the mound to hit 101 the way some of these guys have to.
Yeah, it looks effortlessly.
Well, it definitely does help that he's 6'6", 250
Yeah, but there are
pounds.
plenty of guys that big.
He's not that big.
But he's a big guy, but there's plenty of big guys who still have to fall off the mound to throw that hard.
Yes.
And what they do is they put themselves in an unnatural, the overhand throwing motion is already an unnatural motion.
Yeah.
That's why softball pitchers can go every day and baseball pitchers do need rest. But when you have those solid, Pedro Martinez talks about it all the time, the angles, where you have to be. That's how you're available every day. And what's the old line? What's the greatest ability in sports? Availability.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah,
and
that's the biggest thing.
You can watch that when you go see these kids. You can say, okay, he throws 93, but how does he throw 93? Does he have 2 or 3 other pitches? Yeah. And if so, what can I work on? Where is this kid? Seeing that in person is huge, and it's exciting for those kids too. It's also, it'll tell you a lot about a kid's mindset. If they know the scouts are there, how do they perform when the scouts are there?
And how big is he, Jeffrey?
6'6", says 260.
Yeah, he's a big.
Now, I saw him in person,
Yeah,
he's a big boy.
And I saw him in the bullpen because they were thinking about putting him in Game 3 when they were playing a national championship against the Gators, and they didn't do it. Yeah. They didn't even need him.
No.
Yeah.
So should I ask the unfair question to Brian that I did last Thursday to Brian of Lone Star?
Quickly.
Well, you better hurry.
What's Mississippi State going to win the national title in? What sport? The first one.
Yeah, we won the first one, 2020 baseball.
Yeah. So you think you're going to do baseball before you do any other sport?
It would be baseball.
It's got to be.
Anything.
Either way, we are done. Thanks so much for listening. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll see you tomorrow, guys.
Set your alarm clock to wake up with the Coach Hales Show on ESPN Northwest Florida. In-depth local and college sports from expert insiders and a dash of controversy.
Can be deadly.
Weekday mornings 7 to 9.
Nothing says good morning like a drunken human alarm clock.
You're live from the J. Michaels studio.
We all know he loves the Florida Gators, but that's okay.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
I can control the world.
Good evening. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Monday. Clear tonight with a wind out of the north at 11 miles per hour and a low of 34. Tomorrow morning, look for sunshine with a temperature near 43. The afternoon and evening, a high around 56 and sunshine. Wednesday, quite warm with a high of 69 and sprinkles. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Experience a higher level of service. David Adamson Designer Jewelry has been providing you the very best of fine jewelry and repair in Lynn Haven for over 32 years. David has added Amber Anderson and Russ Clare, names you've known and trusted in PCB for years with your fine jewelry and watch needs. Find that one-of-a-kind engagement ring, that special anniversary gift, or something colorful just for you. Amber and Russ will find it or build it for you, serving Bay County and beyond in Lynn Haven at the corner of Ohio Avenue and 9th. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
Small acts of kindness make a massive impact. This February, you can help Humble House Ministries continue their vital work in our community. They're collecting essential supplies all month long and need your help with donations of laundry detergent, dish soap, shampoo, and conditioner. Plus office supplies like copy paper, cardstock, and envelopes. Drop off your donations Monday through Friday at Elysian Med Spa on Thomas or Reliable Copy Products on Harrison. Help support Humble House Ministries. Together, you're sharing more than just supplies. You are sharing hope.
WGSS Lynn Haven WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
All them dogs are counting down. About to put the anchor down. Hotty toddy, who's it gonna be? Cowbells and swamp. The ag is wrong. There's nothing like the SEC. The weekend's full of surprises. From Williams Bryce to Death Valley, on the Five Bomb Show, Paul's on a roll. If he don't get the best of me, call Paul. He'll make sense of it all.
here on a Monday. Hope everybody is well on a cold day throughout the country. We are getting ready to get started. Why get ready? Let's just go ahead and do it. Okay, another list is out. Power rankings. Texas, Georgia lead the way. What's going on with Alabama? Come on. I'm not sure I believe Alabama is the sixth best team in the SEC. It seems like yesterday. All my troubles seem so, well, you know, with the rest of that song. Anyway, some interesting thoughts there. Meanwhile, street agents exploiting athletes in NIL deals. Coaches are warned. Oh, hold on a second. There's something going on here? Alert the media. Craig Bohl, former coach, now head of the Coaches Association, and Brandon Marcello. They actually could be father and son, or grandfather and son. I'm not really sure which. Professor Mac Engel with a big scoop. SMU's $50 million pledge is a threat to TCU, Texas, Baylor, and A&M. It wasn't that long ago that the president of the University of Texas left to go to SMU. I'm like going, what is going on here? Could they have more money there? Apparently they do. Hey, Mac, great to see you. Thank you very much. SMU has never been short of cash, apparently.
No, and on Friday they made an announcement that they had 4 families come together to pony up, pun intended, to donate $50 million. That's with an M, not a B. I figure the B is next year. And then another initiative that will match that $50 million, all with the intention to go towards athletics, which translation, NIL dollars. So they have been very serious about this, and they have found the money without much problem.
And a lot of people, young, probably don't remember, this is SMU program that, nearly 40 years ago was put out of business, but they have made the long road back. So what's happening? Where's the money coming from? And they already have a good program. What's this going to mean?
Well, I think what it means is basically it could do potentially, in theory, and put itself where Miami is. Because I think you had mentioned this on your show, Paul, that there was a long period of time in there where Miami was no longer the U, right? From about 2006 to 2023, Miami was no longer a power. And if you go back, which you and I are old enough to remember this, in the early 80s, SMU was just a tick under the University of Miami in terms of making a climb to being in the top tier of college football teams. And then obviously it got the death penalty. Miami marched on and became synonymous with winning. Well, obviously now SMU, through a long road back, bought its way into the ACC by waiving essentially all media rights, money, and revenue generated from the TV contract through the conference. And they've done it by basically saying, we have enough donors and we have enough money to compete. And that's what they've done. And what we've seen in a short time, especially through Miami and Texas Tech, is that if you have some influential donors and some pretty good coaches, you can have a really good high-end football team quick. And I would expect that is what SMU will do and continue to do.
And Mac, is there, I realize oil is up some days, down the others. I'm assuming oil is up right now. What's behind the money? Where's it coming from?
Well, there's one particular family that's been exceptionally generous, but to sit there and say that's just one, but it's just a handful of families. SMU is a very small school. We're talking about a university with an undergrad enrollment of 7,000 or 8,000. It's a great place. It's a wonderful school. It's in a great area of Dallas, but they've got a handful of exceptionally wealthy boosters who've decided this is where we want our money to go. We want to see SMU on the national stage, which is what it takes. But it's not coming from student fees or, ticket prices or even attendance for that matter, or media rights. It's coming from a handful of very, very wealthy people who have decided, you know what, I could put my money here, here, here. This is where I want it to go, and that's what I want to see SMU do. And if Miami is any example, it can work.
So we know where the money's coming from. We know to the degree how much it is. Explain to the rest of us why this move here by SMU, which should surprise no one, is going to affect some of the bigger dogs in your state.
Because they can outbid other teams. And it's, I think, what we saw in the last couple of transfer portal classes, specifically the quarterback who went to Duke. There's some other ones, but that was a prominent one. The kids, in my conversations with coaches and players, two things, Paul. They prioritize money, playing time, and opportunity to the NFL via the college football playoff. SMU can offer all of that. And as long as you have those access points,